Alright, so 2023's Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is based on the book by Judy Blume. The film is directed and written for the screen by Kelly Freeman Craig, who is also the writer and director of 2016's Edge of 17. And in the film, we follow 11-year-old Margaret, who navigates new friends, feelings, and the beginning of adolescence when her family moves from the big city to the suburbs. In the cast as Margaret herself, we have Abby Ryder Fortson, who some of you might recognize as Cassie from the first two Ant-Man movies. Playing Margaret's mother, Barbara, we have Rachel McAdams. As her grandma, Sylvia, we have Kathy Bates. And as her father, Herb, we have Benny Safdie. When I found out who was in the cast and I saw the trailers, I was interested in the film, but when it came time to actually see the movie, I was debating on whether or not to actually see it in theaters. Something about a guy in his early 20s going to see this movie in the theaters alone felt a little awkward and potentially a little creepy, but I'm happy I took the leap of faith and went to go see this because I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. There are some scenes in the movie where it felt like, as a guy, I probably shouldn't be watching. Felt like at any moment the house lights would turn on and Chris Hansen would walk through the door and confront me.
Why don't you have a seat?
I just need to get home. I'm not doing the show.
Go ahead and take a seat.
But I'm not going to do this.
Take a seat right over there. What are you doing here?
But when it comes down to it, I wouldn't say this is a movie for girls or for women. This is a movie for anybody who is currently going through puberty or has gone through puberty. Even though we're seeing it through the perspective of an 11-year-old girl, there's still a lot of things in this movie I found myself relating to from when I was in middle school/high school, going through puberty, going through changes. It just goes to show that this story is universal. As long as you were a kid at one point in your life, you're gonna relate to something in this movie. Now, the whole puberty/period/growing up aspect of this movie is only half of what this movie is. The other half actually has to do with religion, which for non-religious people might be something that will turn you away from this movie. But as a non-religious person myself, the religious aspects of this movie were actually my favorite parts. In the film, her father Herb is Jewish and her mother Barbara is Catholic. They raised Margaret to not practice any religion and decide when she gets older. And throughout the film, Margaret is trying to decide whether she would be Jewish or Catholic. And the more experiences she gets with religion, the more curious she gets about her family's own religious beliefs. She goes down this rabbit hole and finds out things about her mother and her mother's parents. And those aspects right there are some of the most emotional aspects of this whole movie. So yeah, definitely bring the tissues. But now moving on to the performances, starting with Abby Ryder Fortson herself. She is fantastic as the lead Margaret. She was so charismatic, yet brought so much heart to the film as well. This is one of those roles you see early on and you automatically know that you're going to have to see everything this actor is in going forward. This is one of those times right here. Abby Ryder Fortson, keep an eye out. She's going to be doing great things. I already know it. But now on to Rachel McAdams as Barbara, the mother. Rachel McAdams is fantastic in this movie. Like I was saying before with her storyline, it hits on some very emotional elements, and she handles those emotional elements with ease. And like Abby Ryder Fortson, she does have a lot of charisma in this movie as well. Just a quick sidebar, I honestly think Rachel McAdams could win an award for her role in this movie. And another person I could see winning an award for her role in this movie is Kathy Bates as Grandma Sylvia. So obviously she killed it in this movie. She gives off those warm grandma vibes. In this movie here, you honestly want more from her, and when you do get her on screen, you never want her to leave. But the last person I'll mention here is Benny Safdie as Herb. Not quite as much to say about his character, honestly, because out of Rachel McAdams, Kathy Bates, and his character, he gets the least amount of screen time. Believe I saw him in that movie Licorice Pizza, which I wasn't completely crazy about, but I did like him in there. Very charismatic, very funny guy. Everyone in here plays their roles perfectly, not only the lead, but also everybody in the supporting cast, not just the ones I mentioned, but also the others I didn't mention. Not a single dull performance in this entire movie. And I guess just to even this review out, I should mention a couple complaints. Don't really have many complaints with this movie, but I guess one of them would be some of the messages are a little heavy-handed, but it never took me out of the movie by any means. Just a small little nitpick. And the second complaint I have is that a couple of actors in the movie didn't get quite enough screen time. Benny Safdie as Herb, but especially Kathy Bates as Grandma Sylvia. I would have liked just a little bit more from both of them, but for the most part, I was happy with what we got. So at the end of the day, when it comes to my ranking, I'm sure you've already guessed, but Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret from 2023 is a premium ticket. Have you seen Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. What did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you in the middle? Comment down below and let me know. Have you not seen it? Are you planning on watching it anytime soon? Why or why not? And the last question for you guys, have you read the book, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret? How do you think they did adapting it to film? I would love to hear your opinions. Really, any comments you have for me, I'd love to hear from you. I respond to as much as I can. But do me a favor and leave a like on this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and I will see you in the next one.